Well, good morning everyone and welcome. My name's Jeremy Gaden, I'm the Acting Chair of the Arts Industry Council Victoria, and I'd like to make you all very welcome to our conference, Finger on the Pulse. It's very exciting that we've got you all here and of course all of our guests this afternoon or this morning. I'd like to firstly acknowledge that we are on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri tribe of the Kulin Nation, and I'd like to pay my respects to their elders, both past and present, and through them to all people of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander heritage. Let me first welcome Minister Peter Batchelor, MP Minister for the Arts, Ted Baillieu, Leader of the Victorian Opposition, the Victorian Liberal Nationals Coalition and Shadow Minister for the Arts, and Sue Pennicuik, MLC from the Australian Greens Victoria. I'd also like to welcome special guests as well as, of course, everybody in the room. And I'd like to particularly thank members of the Arts Industry Council Victoria for making this event happen today. The Arts Industry Council is 21 years old. Over the last 2 decades, we have actively represented the Victorian arts sector, providing research on key issues, lobbying on behalf of our constituency, and contributing to public debate by providing leadership and forums for discussions. In this year, we have presented a number of forums and assisted in facilitating 2 meetings of Victoria's peak arts bodies. We have provided industry advice and responded to a number of consultations, including submitting to the development of the National Cultural Policy, as well as meeting with Minister for the Arts, Minister for Community Development, the Leader of the Opposition and Shadow Parliamentary Secretary for the Arts. And we hope to continue this to build relationships with these key figures in the lead up to the Victorian state election. Well, today is all about the arts, and particularly about the future of the arts in Victoria. We want to provide the arts community with an opportunity to directly engage in the shaping and owning of this future. And for this reason, I think it's really critical that we actually hear from an artist and an artist's perspective. And that's why we've got a fantastic keynote speaker to present to you this morning. Brook Andrew is an interdisciplinary artist working in photography, neon, screen print, mixed media, public art and installation. He challenges cultural and historical perception using text and image to comment on local and global issues regarding race, consumerism and history. Would you please make welcome Brook Andrew.
I feel like I'm at the school prom or something, giving out awards. Normally when I give artist talks, I just talk. But I thought today it was a very important opportunity to actually write some notes, so please bear with me. Thank you, Jeremy, for the acknowledgement and of the traditional owners of the Kulin Nation. And I'd like to thank the Arts Industry Council of Victoria and all dedicated members for the opportunity to speak today. And of course, I'm one of many artists, many thousands of artists who have different ideas, different perspectives. Some like to be local, some like to be international, some like to be quiet, some like to be busy and loud. So what I'm about to say today is really just some of the things that I see as can be a burgeoning and really fantastic and exciting creative arts field in Victoria. I'm originally from Sydney, but I've been in Melbourne for about 7 years now. And one of the reasons why I came to this state is because of the things that appealed to me was the ability to actually have open discussions and conversations where the gates were kind of quite open and the flux was quite easy to get around. Apart from also real estate, it was much easier for me to have affordable studio space here, which is of course very important for all forms of art. I see Finger on the Pulse as an opportunity to clarify the creative agenda for Victorians and how we all can create a solid future of engagement with powerful support and debates on creativity and visibility to create an established artistic movement in Victoria. I do hope that today's conference becomes a biannual event that aims at keeping connections vibrant and issues on the page. For me, visibility is a cultural identity and right. Though the strength of it depends on a balance of strong belief, dedication, leadership, funding, and freedom of creative expression. To explore ways of engagement, recognition, and support for both individual and diverse expressions and practices. to understand and commit to supporting artists on our own platform and the values and processes that are important to us as people is simple. Just let us do our job. Artists reflect society and our inner worlds, and this is why art is so world famous. It's why it's so controversial and why it's so uplifting, and people want to see it again and again. Well, they want to talk about it again and again. Giving creatives carte blanche is essentially the thrilling and terrifying moment, and we need it more if Victoria is to boast a visible leading arts movement. It is already a strong community. We need to make it work on a grander scale that includes confidence and engagement. This pride and ownership is paramount to move forward and develop a world-leading and exciting creative community with strong traditions alongside contemporary challenging practices. When I talk about this as Melbourne being a centre, as Victoria being a centre and looking out instead of the outside looking in. Ideas and challenges for an artist are deep within not only the psyche of exploration and experimentation, but it is a process of events that are often surprising. And it is with this spirit that artists need to be trusted and supported, allowed to challenge and test the waters of adversity and have an active respected role in society. An active role should also be attainable for alternative creative practices. Breaking with tradition is tradition. And it is the space in between that also needs support and fostering. It is often the alternative practice that needs a studio. Access to a studio or dance space, for example, is paramount for engagement where people bind together to explore passionate ideas and create opportunities for experimentation and outcomes, especially for groups who aim to challenge. I am not talking about anti-institutional sentiments. On the contrary, I am speaking of sharing the respect for creative tradition, which is only to allow the fruits of creativity to be explored on different levels. This is the essence of creativity. We must remember that alternative practices are often those that become infamous and defy mainstream cultures. This Victoria arts movement I speak of is not only possible through financial support and engagement with a famous and dedicated local philanthropy, but a serious mindset for not only state proud but internationally respected. We have recently been the first state to show difference of political motivations than other Australian states. So how do we move forward to carve a solid Victorian artistic movement? You'll have to excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold from shaking. Fostering and continual support for creative processes needs to be made desirable and proud to the mainstream audience. And this is something that needs excellent management and vision for building a creative identity that we are all proud of. Dare I mention the British movement of the young British artists, a contentious movement, a movement that put British contemporary art on the map. Through savvy advertising and overwhelming support from the British Council for the Arts and the British people, then surely our Victorian advertisers and funding bodies can do the same. The YBAs hit Europe and the world by storm, and now we all know who Damien Hirst and Tracy Emin are alongside Picasso. They have indeed challenged what international installation art is today and carved a firm genre in the international arts movement as a strong London and hence British art identity, and we can do the same. Local contemporary artists, the likes of Paul Kapsis, Christos Tsolkis, Peter Tognetti, and their stories do the same. Sorry, Richard Tognetti. But the support needs to reach deeper and broader into the mainstream. After all, Melbourne's own artist-run space, Hell Gallery, was recently represented in London's Tate Modern exhibition on alternative art practices and artist-run spaces.